Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to paint this watercolor wreath in Procreate. Just a quick note, all of the brushes that I use in this video you can download for free following the link in the description. There's a lot of other goodies in there, but if you just want the brushes and the canvas, those are in there too. It's all free. Download it. You can follow along. All right, back to the iPad. I am starting by drawing a reference circle. I'm going to go into the layers panel and I'm creating a new layer and dragging it underneath my painting layers. To make it a perfect circle, I hold my pencil on the screen and wait for it to snap into an ellipse, and then tap with one finger on the screen and hold. Once I'm happy with the size, I'm going to tap the selection arrow so I can center the shape on my canvas. Going back into my layers panel, I'm reducing the opacity on this layer and then selecting a painting layer above it to start working on. I'm going to start off by drawing the stems, so I'm choosing a soft brown color and the textured taper brush. This first step is to draw on all the branches and stems. I'm not taking the time to get a watercolor look yet, as this is essentially just the base to work from. I'm working my way around the circle, making sure that the branches are somewhat similar in how far they extend toward and away from the center of the wreath. I know that I'm going to be painting the leaves on top, so I'm not too concerned with what the ends of the branches look like. Once I finish the branches, I'm going to choose a nice green to start with for the leaves and select the layer above the branch layer. I'm switching to the petal painter for this step. Again, when painting these leaves, I'm less focused on getting a watercolor look, and instead I'm focusing on the shape of the leaves and getting that right. I'm trying to make sure that there's a good variation of flat leaves and folded leaves, and that they're more or less consistently sized. Let's talk about these folded leaves quick. The twisted leaf is created by drawing these two leaf shapes stacked on top of one another. To indicate different sides of the leaf, I usually make one of the shapes darker than the other. The fold-over leaf is created by drawing one leaf with a more pointed tip and then adding in this triangle shape. I will again make these two different shades for different sides of the leaves. Now that all the leaves are painted, I'm going to go in and add some watercolor effects and variation to this branch layer. I'm going to duplicate the branch painting layer, change my paint color to just a solid white, then change the blend mode of the duplicated layer to normal, and then I'm going to tap the layer again to bring up the side menu. I'm going to tap select, and then I'm going to go into the brush panel, choose the solid fill brush, and paint the entire layer. Then I'm going to go once more into the layers panel and hit select again, and then I'm going to select the painting layer to work in. I'm using the Woolly Water brush and I chose a richer brown color to fill in the stems. I'm focusing here on covering any obvious overlapping pieces as well as just darkening everything in the layer. Now I'm going to choose an even darker brown and I'm going to paint with the clean edge brush, and I'm just going to roughly go over everything. Again, I'm still keeping it selected. I'm going to kind of outline my branches, and what I'm doing is I'm drawing slightly outside of the selected areas. I'm relying on the pressure of the brush to extend into the actual selected areas. So this is going to give me that hard edge watercolor look that I'm going for. I'm also going to use the watery bleed brush in some places to add variety to the texture of the painting. Next, I'm going to repeat the process with the leaf layer. So again, I'm going to duplicate my leaf painting layer, change the blend mode of that layer to normal. I am going to tap it to bring up the side menu and hit select, change my painting color to white, and then choose the solid fill brush, and then paint all over the canvas to fill my selection with white. Then I'm tapping on the layer to select the background again, and then I'm going to go into my linear burn painting layer. With the outline still selected, I'm going to go in with the woolly water brush and this mint color. This is going to give me some soft color variation, and I'm adding this in select areas across the whole wreath. Then I'm going to go in with the smudge tool, and I'm going to use the smudge tool with the blotty blender brush to blend these colors together and eliminate any sharp edges from brush strokes or any places where the colors overlapped. I'm also pulling in white from the edges to add some more color variation. Once everything is blended, I'm going in and using the woolly water brush and choosing this darker green to add some shading and then pooling of the pigment throughout the leaves. Again, I'm just going around the entire wreath. Now I'm going to select another dark green and I'm going to switch to the watery bleed brush. And similar to how I did on the branch layer, I'm going to add some darker edges and some variation. For a lot of the leaves, I'm outlining them by drawing slightly outside the selection area, which then allows the pressure of the brush to extend into the leaves themselves, but gives it more of a subtle look. My next step is to blend the leaves and the branches together. To do this, I'm going to duplicate the white leaf background layer, drag that layer down to below the branches, merge the branches background and the leaf background together. I'm going to go into the leaf background layer that's still in between the two painting layers. I'll lower the opacity to around 60 and then merge all three of these together. Then I select the merged layer on the very bottom, and then I'm going to go back into the painting layer to continue working. Here I'm going in with the smudge tool and the blotty blender brush, and I'm going to be pulling the color around to bleed some of the branches into the leaves and to bleed some of the leaves into the branches. So I'm just spreading out the colors to mix some of the green and the brown. Next, I'm selecting a darker green color, and I'm using the clean edge brush to add in some pooling detail and hard edges where I smudged the two colors together. I try to do this sparingly, and it helps achieve the look of multiple layers of watercolor drying at different times. So I find that this gives it the final realistic touch that it needs. My final step is to use the eraser tool and the moss salt brush. I'm still working in the painting layer. I do this to add some texture and remove some pigment, so I just work my way around the layer. Finally, I am merging the background and the painting layers together so it is all one piece. And here's the finished wreath. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to throw up a straight up painting video, but I promise I will be back with more clip art class content soon, including how to vectorize your watercolor. I promise it's coming. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want more, and if you want to watch more Procreate watercolor right now, you can check these out. See you next time.